Hi, I'm Natasha Fender.
And I'm Maddie Imey, and we are your hosts for the next 15 minutes of Blue Jay Journal TV.
Here's what's coming up on this episode.
We will take a look at the art of glass blowing.
We're going outdoors for a little time with some special animals.
And we are going to learn more about a local cheer coach who has led many of his athletes to national titles.
Those 3 stories and much more are coming your way.
Blue Jay Journal TV starts right now.
Washington, Missouri is a little bit off the beaten path. So when a national riding sensation comes to town, it's a pretty big deal. Caleb Curran has the details.
Walk around a high school during the day. You come across kids in classrooms, love notes on lockers, and maybe if you're lucky, an assembly. But this assembly isn't a class meeting or a cookie dough fundraiser.
I'm an author. I do it probably once a month, twice a month maybe. Visit a school somewhere or a library, talk about my books. It's an important part of being a writer, is getting out there and meeting your readers. It's fun.
But Jennifer Brown was doing more than just making a public appearance at Washington High School.
Almost all of my books have an underlying theme of coming together, of tolerance, of banding together or reaching out to one another. I think that's probably life's most difficult lesson and most important lesson to learn. Today, when I was at Washington High School, I was speaking about 1,000 Words, where really the overtones of the book were, a cautionary tale about a worst case scenario, but it was also about, defining yourself and not being defined by your bullies or by people who are saying bad things about you.
Aside from leaving her advice on life, she also left her advice on writing.
I have 3 pieces of advice for someone who wants to write. The first one being to read all the time. It's how you learn what good writing looks like, what bad writing looks like. Second piece of advice is to write all the time. And then my third piece of advice is to believe in yourself. That is the make it or break it portion of being a writer, because it doesn't matter how good you are, you will get rejected. And it doesn't matter how good you are, you will get criticism and it will hurt. And it's easy to give up. And so if you start really practicing believing in yourself now, you'll have a leg up when it comes down to submitting your work and kind of getting up and trying again when you've been knocked down.
For Blue Jay Journal TV, I am Caleb Curran, reporting.
Well, I played basketball for 4 years. I played football for 4 years. I've done track for 4 years. Oh, I love football above all the other ones, for sure. Basketball, you just run around shooting stuff. Track, I just throw stuff. And football, I get to hit things and not get in trouble for it. I get to spend time with my teammates that I like, and I just like the game.
Austin Subke is the son of Chuck and Denise.
I'd like to play football in college after high school. I'm not too sure where exactly yet. I'm looking at the University of Central Missouri, Lindenwood, Pittsburgh State. I'm student council treasurer, FBLA president. I'm our class treasurer, involved in many activities throughout the school. If you come into high school, just being as involved as possible as you can into everything. I mean, if they tell you no, you can't do it, then just, that's the worst they can tell you is no. So just try out for everything, be involved in everything, just do whatever makes you happy.
If you would stop her from drinking. If you would stop her from smoking. Then why wouldn't you stop her from abusing medication? 1 out of 10 American teens admit to using cough and cold medicines to get high. Don't become a statistic.
Glass. It's something we all take for granted. We drink from it, we bake our food in it, and sometimes we even accidentally break it. But glass is more than something we use every day. It's also an art form. Here's the story.
Tucked away in downtown New Haven is a unique shop that entertains as they sell. And they sell something we all take for granted: glass.
I've been doing it for about 25 years, but I got started in glass as an art medium as a stained glass artist. And my wife and I had a fairly successful stained glass studio, and we wanted to separate ourselves from the competition, so we wanted to make our own glass. And then we found when we got liquid glass, there were so many other things you could do with it that we kind of pursued glass blowing.
Astral Glass creates and sells their own works of art right in front of their customers. Gary Rice admits it's not as easy as it looks.
It's a deceptively difficult craft to learn because as you watch us work, it looks as if anybody ought to do this until you have the glass in your hand the first time and you realize the glass never stops moving. And so you're moving the pipe constantly, counteracting the glass's desire to drip off the end.
Glass blowing may sound like a hot job, but sometimes it literally gets too hot.
The environment that we work in can be hostile. In the summertime, we work in temperatures that can be upward of 130 degrees. So it's not a whole lot of fun in there, and you tend to do smaller pieces and get them done as quickly as you can.
Despite the heat and the challenges of working with glass, Gary Rice finds his career rewarding in many ways.
My dad always told me the secret in life is to do what you love and you'll never have to go to work. And it's really the truth. We really enjoy coming in here and doing what we do.
At Astral Glass, the main focus isn't just selling their pieces for a living. It's about making everyone's lives a bit more beautiful.
In my book, art is anything that creates an emotional response in somebody. But for us, we like being happy. And so for us, the emotional response we try for is happiness. We realize that what we do is bringing beauty into the world. And even in a functional piece, if every morning you get up and you eat cereal out of a bowl that makes you smile, then we feel like we've done a real service for the rest of humanity because you started the day smiling because of that colorful cereal bowl you ate your cereal out of.
Gary and Judy Rice, along with Lance Stroker of Astral Glass, hope you will come visit them in New Haven soon. Astral Glass is located at 133 Front Street and is open Wednesday through Sunday during the day until 5 p.m. I am Ellie Rep reporting.
Five times 5 is 25, jingle all the way. 5, 10, 15,
I draw a hill and a house. Welcome to 4th grade. Yeah, still do it.
Shirley Hillhouse may appear to be an average 4th grade teacher, but average would be quite the understatement.
I like her. She's fun, kind of crazy in some ways.
She makes it funny every lesson. She tries to teach us and make it funny.
I think she really enjoys what she does.
She's one of the better teachers I think that I've ever had.
Yes, ma'am. You would think Shirley Hillhouse has been teaching her whole life, but that's not the case. In fact, she picked it up later in her career.
I was always in the business world, and I missed the time when our two sons, Heath and Hart, were about 3rd, 4th grade, and I missed that creativity I could do with them. So I thought, you know, I could go get my teaching certificate, and I could go get creative with 20 kids every day.
Imaginary purple monster.
She doesn't make it boring. She tells like stories with all of her teaching.
Her students' achievements have translated into her own as well.
The award I'm most proud of, since history is one of my loves, is the Missouri History Teacher of the Award. One of the student-generated awards was the Crazy Teacher of the Award. You'll never see a trophy like this.
She may have a Crazy Teacher Award, but when it comes to her students, Mrs. Hillhouse knows exactly what she's doing.
Well, if it's fun, you kind of remember it. When your teacher's saying something funny, you listen more. That's why she likes to tell stories.
I think the most important thing you need to do in teaching is find a way to motivate each individual student.
Oh gosh, that's the miracle.
It's not the curriculum. You know, a lot of people can teach what's in the books, but it's finding a way to make them really want to learn it, make them want to be here, make them eager to come to school.
She never really talked down to you. She always expected a lot from you, and she talked to you like you were an adult, not like you were just a 4th grader.
I want all of my kids to feel like They're just the greatest thing since sliced bread when they leave my classroom.
Shirley Hillhouse has found a way to motivate and care for her students. And for that, she deserves an A+. For Blue Jay Journal TV, I'm MC Landel reporting.
Cheerleading is a serious business, and the competition starts at a young age. Kristen Mittler is going to introduce us to a cheer coach in this story.
I enjoyed helping kids learn the stunt and the tumbling skills. I enjoyed teaching them.
11 years ago, Steve Roberts started a competitive all-star cheerleading team at Power Athletics.
My best friend is a All-American, two-time All-American, and he convinced me, he said, "Hey Steve, this is very easy to do," which it absolutely was not. But he said, "I can help you through this. This is easy." And that's how we started.
5, 6, 7, 8, move. These cheerleaders spend at least 6 to 8 hours a week in the gym preparing for their competitions.
All-Star trains considerably more than high school cheer does. All-Star cheer tries to spend almost 3 times longer than high school.
It gets challenging because you have homework to deal with along with like other sports that you want to do. You have to try and figure out which practices go when so you can make sure that you can be at both practices.
I go like from practice to practice, and sometimes those nights can get very tiresome.
We have over 40 national championships, grand champions, which is considered in the when you beat everybody in your division plus you beat everybody else that was around that division. So we've won several grand championships and national championships, which is very rewarding.
For many of the cheerleaders, competitive cheerleading isn't all about the awards they win. It prepares them for their future.
We like to grow our cheerleaders from the ground, from the all-star side, all the way up to high school, so they better prepare them for our high school teams. Our high school teams both are state champions, and we like to continue helping the high school teams.
I plan on cheering in college. I think All-Star prepared me for what high school brought and what college is going to bring, because it gave you more of a broad background of what you have to do for high school and learn the basics of cheerleading.
For more information about Power Athletics, you can call them at 636-390-4141.
I enjoy the stunting aspect of the cheer side. I enjoy the fun of the competitions in All-Star. And then I also enjoy teaching kids tumbling.
For Blue Jay Journal TV, I am Kristen Mittler, reporting.
There are many farms located in the hills of Franklin County. Brian Trigg is going to take us to one owned by Tony Riley. Let's learn more about this interesting woman and her animals.
Anatole France once said, "Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened." That being said, it is safe to assume that Tony Riley has a fully awakened soul. Before interviewing Tony, however, I couldn't help but notice her own furry friends, especially those of the larger variety.
The Clydesdales have a lot of people that just stop by here to say hi to them. I don't even know who they are half the time. But they stop by, I see them out at the fence talking to them. I had 4 here at one time. I only have 2 left. The 2 that are left here both were lead horses in a hitch. They had 4 or 5 people taking care of them each day. They have the best ground manners because they have the training that's just out of this world. The first one that came here was in a commercial at one time.
Tony was unable to disclose of where the Clydesdales came from, but she did tell me about another way she helps connect people with pets. You probably remember the support dog story we produced earlier this year. Well, I was shocked when I found out Tony's involved with that same organization as well.
I started doing touch therapy work back in '94. I have 3 dogs working now. I have Stone, the Portuguese water dog. I have Handsome, the Golden Retriever Rescue. And I have Jonah, the Portuguese water dog that's 4. All of my dogs are rated AC1, which is the highest rating you can get with support dogs, which means we get to visit Children's Hospital, Rankin Jordan Rehab Center, and Epworth Children's Home is the other place I go. I love these animals, and I love sharing them with people. I love having people understand that animals can make a big difference in someone's life.
Whether she's helping animals or using animals to help people, Tony definitely has an awakened soul. With Blue Jay Journal TV, I am Brian Trigg, reporting.
We want to thank you so much for watching our show. And remember, you can find us online at www.bluejayjournal.com.
And you can follow us on Twitter at Blue Jay Journal, and you can like us on Facebook at Blue Jay Journal TV.
Until next time, I'm Maddie Imee.
And I'm Natasha Fender.
Have a great day, Washington.